Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Celebrate Southern Africa. My name is Dawn Denton, and I am so excited this evening to talk to a writer, somebody who has written a book. How does it feel to be a writer, Rene?
Gosh, hi Dawn and everyone else. Thanks so much for having me. Writer was not really the title I think I would ever have put behind my name, but it feels great to actually finally see this sort of dream come true. Well, it wasn't actually a dream for a long time, but it's taken just over a year or so to write the book. It is quite surreal.
I can imagine. So the book now is about rusks. And so is it all rusk recipes in this book?
It's only rusk recipes, or some variation of a rusk recipe in this book. Yeah, it's I've baked for many years, ever since I can remember, to be honest. And when we came to England, obviously that's the thing that you miss. Where's your coffee and biscuit for your morning breakfast? So I learned to bake rusks from about 20 years ago now. So it's been a bit of a time, and it's a collection of recipes that I've collected over the years. Most of them sort of handed down, shared between friends and family, but there are also a few recipes in there that were sort of my own creations, things that I craved and things I just thought that would be really nice, would go together. So it all started.
So did you bake before you learned how to make the rusks? Have you always been a baker, or is it something new in your life?
No, I grew up with a mom who was a fabulous baker. Mom used to bake all our birthday cakes back in the 70s when there weren't really shop boards. So she used to bake all our birthday cakes for school to share with our friends. And I think that's when my love for baking started. I can remember her chocolate cake and banana bread. So I've always loved to bake. Most things, actually.
That's fantastic. So you've grown up. I mean, I always hear of people saying their love of baking was something that they got from the family, because it's such a lovely time to spend with a parent or a grandparent in the kitchen. And those are the memories, the smells and the experiences and the getting dirty and the laughing with that person is something quite special, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I sort of vividly remember some time with my mum's mum. We used to make chocolates, and she used to buy the Woman's Week, those, I don't know if you remember those Woman's Weekly books.
Yes.
And I can remember I must have been about 30 or so, and make these fancy rum truffle chocolates. I didn't even eat rum or truffles, but we make rum truffle chocolates. So yeah, it's all about memories. And actually this is what this book is about a little bit as well. I share a little introduction to each recipe, a bit about the memories that it had for me. Really where it started was for me just to try and put all my recipes together for my children one day. And it sort of came together in a book. When people heard that I was putting these things together, they said, "Oh, can I have a copy? Can I have a copy?" So that's how the dream went from passing on my recipes to my children to being printed in a book.
So that journey is so exciting. So you've got this idea, you've got this collection of lovely recipes, and then people are saying, "Oh, can I have a copy? Can I have a copy?" And you think, well, actually, I could put this into a book. Now, what's the next step? What do you do next when you've got all these papers and probably got them on documents on the computer? What do you do next to make it into a book?
Oh gosh, Dawn, this has been a learning curve and a half. I have self-published this book, so I have done everything from typing up the recipe document, some Canva, and I've actually created the entire book on Canva, which has been an amazing to learn these things. I love photography as well, so I took all the photos of the rusks that are in the book myself as well, and then I just had fun with it, putting it together, writing the stories, looking at the recipes, doing the layout of the book. The editing was a different story. That was quite a hard one, but the initial bit of work was great fun, lots of learning.
I'm sure. So who did you rope in to help you with the editing process?
So the editing, I have a sister who is, she's just got, I always say she's got the gift of the gab. She can talk, she's brilliant at it, and she writes incredibly beautifully. Karen, she has a Facebook page as well called Coffee with Karen. She's a life coach and a trainer, and she, I got her to some of the editing, and of course she understood my heart, where it was coming from. Some of the memories she's sharing, because as children she was there, or was family recently, she was there, so she knew what I was trying to get out on paper. So yeah, it's been good to have her as part of the journey as well.
So when you first held that book in your hand, how did that feel?
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I got the book. I had a lovely, lovely South African, another South lady called Katie, who printed the book for me. She kind of final bits of pulling all together and printed it. And she popped it in the post. It arrived on a Saturday evening, 2 weeks ago. And it was like having butterflies in your tummy, like nervous, you know, before you write an exam. It was a bit like that sort of feeling. But you
But
did
a nicer feeling than exams.
No, it was nerve-wracking. Once I opened it in the book, it was fine.
That was the distinction that you got from the exam.
A little bit, yeah.
And so let's have a look. You've got a copy there. Let's see what the cover looks
You have
like.
a copy. So that is
Wow.
that is the copy. Now, I did not take this photo. I do have to credit my lovely husband Duncan for taking this photo. I don't like being in front of the camera, but he took this photo one day down. So yeah, that's what it looks like. That's the back.
Oh,
So
it's fantastic.
Some of the recipes are on the inside of the book. It's got 30 recipes. If I just pop open the inside of the book, looks like that. So there's the other one.
Wow, 30 recipes. So you could almost make a rusk a week and do almost the whole year of rusks.
Yeah, good luck.
I'll take the challenge on. I'll take it on.
More from the eating side than from the baking side. The baking side.
That's the problem. I don't really want to bake too often because I'm left with all this yummy stuff and I can't stop. Like if I bake bread, I have to eat the whole loaf. There is no ways I can have a slice.
I totally get it, and that's why you learn to gift. So I baked all these rusks, and some of them a few times to get the recipe right. But I tell you, I had a taste test team who were not unhappy to receive all the because I did not want it in my house.
So now tell me, what are your plans with your book? What are you hoping to achieve? I mean, you want to spread the love and have this in homes, but are you planning on going the next step with another book? Are you going on, what are your plans?
Where we go. So initially, the idea behind the book was to pass these recipes down to my children. But actually, as the book unfolded, I realized that people think they can't bake rusks because it's too difficult or something. And then I went, but hold on, it really is easy. If you can read a recipe, you can bake. It's so forgiving. And I really want to inspire people who have a connection with South Africa, who love the food, who understand it, to have a go at baking their own. It really is simple. And maybe to pass on some of those memories down generations to their family. That's for this book. So asking about the next one, perhaps, yes, I might be looking at another one.
And what would you be baking in your next one? Would it be something else South African, or is there something else that you love baking?
I love baking most things. Probably not bread that much, other than you, to you. But I do love baking cakes. So in our lockdown, when we were proper lockdown, the beginning of the year, I had a lot of friends who had birthdays. So that was my little birthday treat, was to bake them a lockdown birthday cake.
Oh.
So I might start with putting those cakes in, and I think more sort of memory things. So maybe some of those recipes that we bake that weren't fancy, but they just evoke memories of our childhood, those hartsogies or the fudge or the beautiful celebration cakes. So yeah, it's the start, it's a thought at the moment, but I probably would head in that direction at some point.
And the process, has it made you realize that you has it given you confidence? Because I think a lot of people are thinking, I have an idea of a book in my head, or I've got an like I've got a field of expertise and I'm really scared to write. But has this given you a little bit of confidence? Actually, I can write, and it's
Yeah,
okay.
it's really interesting because yeah, I've got expertise in a couple of different sort of handmade creative kind of things. Baking is probably my first love. And again, I've got to credit my sister with it, because she was the one who said to me, come on, Rene, you can do this, just put it together in a book. And I went, you can believe in me, I just need to start believing in myself. And I think that's the biggest thing. We need to believe in ourselves, believe in our passion, and just start, because it's not hard. And people love to hear your story. So it's just about sharing that story, that journey, passion. I would definitely recommend. We all have, I know it's a bit of a cliche, I suppose, we all have a book in us, but I think it might actually be true.
I think it is true. I think we all have an area of expertise that we can share with the world. And I always say that, you know, a book is like a business card. You know, when you have a book published, you're immediately seen as someone in a field of expertise. And it makes people feel more comfortable, maybe buying your services or finding out more about you, or, you know, all of that stuff. So I think we all have at least one book in us, and probably more. And I'm hoping that you have more.
Thank you, Dawn. I think I'm going to take that as a vote of confidence and possibly step up to the next one.
Fantastic. So now can you show us the book again and tell us where we can find the book? And it's Tate for Biscuits. So do you explain in the book what that means?
Yes, I do. So there's quite a few pages in the just explaining, because it is very South African. A lot of my friends and family in England now know what they are, but if someone was to pick it up, they wouldn't have a clue, I suppose. So yes, there's a bit of explanation of what it is, a bit of the method, the sort of standard ingredients, the process of baking it. So available to purchase online on I've got an online shop. The website is simplyrenew.com. It is in a print format, and I have also got a PDF format available, especially for those people not in the UK. I've realized that postage to some of these places are just extortionate. It costs more than the book nearly. So there is a PDF book as well available if anybody wants one of those. But I have to say, I've had a few people kind of go, that's it, Christmas present sorted. So that's quite a nice idea.
I think it's a brilliant idea, and it's also a lovely idea to introduce friends and family who aren't South African to our culture. You know, here's something new that you can bake. You know, you've been baking Victoria sponges forever. How about you try some rusks?
Absolutely. And actually, if you think about it, rusks are, we think they're quite unique to South Africa, but every nation has their sort of baked biscuit kind of thing.
That's true.
You know, the Italians have biscuit.
Biscotti, yeah.
The Germans have something called Zwieback. So, you know, it's nothing that new. Our flavors and perhaps our techniques, ours is a bit more bread-like, where theirs is often more biscuit-like. You know, every nation has their way of doing things. And it is just nice to be able to explore, now that we couldn't travel in this lockdown, that we could at least explore a little bit through other cultures, through food.
Through food. What do you like? Do you like cooking as well, or is it just really the baking?
I like cooking too. I do prefer baking, but I do like being in the kitchen, and yeah.
It's such a it's the heart of the family, the kitchen, isn't it?
It is, but you know what? It's about the time that you spent around the dining table. That's ultimately what it's about for me. So there's always some kind of tea party celebration with a big cake and a fully loaded dining room table with scones and sandwiches and you name it. But it's about that time spent with family. So whether it's I mean, even the other day, very briefly, we all sat, just the four of us, our family, and the children went, "Oh, Mom, we need to bake something now." And we got up, four of us got up together, went and made a malva pudding and carried on with the
Oh,
movie. And it's about those memories. It's about putting things together. That's ultimately what it does. Food brings us together and those memories.
I totally agree with you. Now, before we go, will you tell us about those amazing pictures behind you?
Amazing pictures behind me. Yeah, these came over from South Africa. It's a friend of ours in South Africa, Nicoline MacDonald. Some beautiful African art.
It's absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. What I'll do is I'll put the links together so people can access the book from the video. And it's been an absolute pleasure. And we are looking forward to your next book. I mean, I haven't even got the first one, but I'm looking forward to the second one.
Thank you, Dawn.
And yeah, and have a lovely Christmas. I know you're going to spend lots of time in the kitchen with the family over Christmas as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Getting ready for the spice biscuits and all of those, hopefully this weekend.
Oh, it sounds fantastic. But thank you so much. And yes, and good luck with the book. And I'm sure that we will see you online somewhere doing something else amazing.
Thank you, Dawn. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay.